and they have a fun, dynamic young player who had one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen. Corbin Carroll, 20 or more home runs, 50 or more stolen bases. He was thrown out just 5 times all year, 54, 59. When you look at young players who came close to 20-50 seasons, it was only Corbin Carroll that pulled that off. So as you look at the young man who's being defined as the face of this Diamondback franchise at a very young age, he's only 23 years old. What kind of expectations do you have for his sophomore season?
Well, I think they're high. I think he himself is going to hold himself to a high standard, not just so much off the year he had, but I think the type of player he is, the mentality he has. I think when you look at his skill set, what he can do on the field, not only offensively but defensively, you expect for him to be, a leader on this team on both sides of the ball. He's a dynamic player. I think that's the expectation, what we all have of him. But I also think he has that on himself to be that type of player and leader and face of the franchise like you like to call it.
I do like to call him that. I think I'm not the only one calling him that.
No, he deserves it.
He does. First full season in the big leagues, and he leads his team all the way to the World Series. I caught up with Corbin. I asked him, that Fall Classic experience, how will that impact the rest of his career going forward?
I think that not just that experience for me, but for all our guys. We had a young team, and almost every single player come back, and so for us to have that experience so early on in a lot of our careers, I think that can do nothing but good things for us.
And you're growing with this core. Moreno behind the plate. Perdomo's only 24 years old, is short. Alec Thomas is a good friend of yours. That's got to be fun to have all of these experiences together with a group like that.
Yeah, definitely agreed. It makes coming into the ballpark that much more fun. These are relationships and dynamics you see on the field that started years and years ago. So it's cool to finally, over this last year or two, be able to see that at the big league level finally.
And while you were sitting in your home watching all of the free agent signings and trades, what did you make of the talent they brought in to even bolster this club for 2024?
Yeah, I'm extremely happy with it. I think, compared to last year, I think we line up even better on paper, and now it's time to go, change that from being just on paper and go get some real results.
54 stolen bases, and you only throw out 5 times. What is the secret to your ability to get on first base and steal a bag? Do you mind showing us a few tricks of the trade?
Yeah, absolutely. Take a look. So first thing I'm thinking coming down the line is getting here, getting stuff off, and leaning over to McKay. So kind of back here with our first base coach. He's in this ear, letting me know what we got on the guy, what he's been seeing. Then after that, off the back of the bag. And my lead will depend on the pitcher, depend on his move. We'll study him before the game, but I like to be somewhere out comfortable. I'd say an average lead is probably about 11 feet, 10 and a half, 11 feet. And I've had a little bit of movement the last year, a little bit of movement in the feet, tried to, not stay too stationary. I feel like wherever I am in that kind of shuffle, I feel comfortable going both ways. And then, a steal for me is pretty simple, just trying to stay low and drive and create big shapes early. And then, right at the back of that bag, so.
I love that. You fly on the base pass. Where is your ceiling in terms of stolen bases? Do you see yourself stealing 70 bags someday?
I'm not necessarily a guy that wants the biggest number. I care about being the most impactful base runner as opposed to the raw numbers, I guess. And so getting thrown out is really important for me. I hate that. I view it as such a detriment. And so I'm trying to pick my spots and be selective. You set the bar pretty high after your first full season in the big leagues. Do you try to give yourself realistic expectations for this upcoming season, or what? Yeah, it almost all of it is process-based, not result-based. And so for me, a lot of it centers around growing and learning as a player. I'm still very young in this league, and I'm excited about, what I can personally and what our team can do. You are very young, so young, and one of the few guys here that was not a former teammate of Alex Avila, who is standing by with one of his former teammates. Take it away, bud.